like the team that started off the season 5-19 and tonight's loss to the Cleveland Cavaliers. We're going to talk about it, break it all down right after this.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bulls Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bulls news and content.
What's going on, Bulls fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bulls Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related. I'm the host here, Haize, but make sure you guys are following the channel at Bulls Central Pod on every social media platform we happen to be on. With that being said, let's go ahead and get into it. The Chicago Bulls got their ass kicked to the Cleveland Cavaliers in today's game, 119-91. The Bulls did win the second and the third quarters, but it wasn't enough. They gave up 40 points in the first quarter, and then they only scored 14 points in the fourth quarter of a game. Billy Donovan did try some different things with the lineup. We saw heavy minutes of Andre Drummond and Nikola Vucevic together tonight, and for the first stint, it worked. The Bulls actually got the lead back down to about 4 points, I think. With that lineup out there, they were rebounding the ball well, but they weren't able to get enough stops and keep that going. Billy Donovan eventually moves away from the big man lineup, goes back small, and by the time he goes big man again, with Drummond Vooch out there again towards the last couple of minutes of that game, the momentum was already in the Cleveland Cavaliers' favor in that. And the Cavs won this game outright. Let's be clear. The Cavs won most of the hustle stats in this game. They out-rebounded us. They out-offensive rebounded us. They had almost double the second chance points we had. We did tie on fast break points. We tied on points in the paint. They outscored us 44-23 coming off the bench. And it just was a night where it was not the Chicago Bulls night. We had 18 turnovers in this game. 18 turnovers. That's just not typical of what we've seen this Chicago Bulls team play like since December. They usually do a pretty damn good job of taking care of the ball, and unfortunately, we just couldn't do it in this game. And like I said, I don't want to make it seem like the Bulls lost this game. The Cavs won this game. Now, the Bulls had their things that absolutely made that easier for the Cleveland Cavaliers to do. But listen, the Cavs didn't shoot amazingly well in this game. 41% from the field, 35% from three. The Chicago Bulls shot 42% from the field and 28% from three. But overall, we just did not have enough and did not execute well enough to win this game. We just didn't. Foul calls, all that type of thing. We had 17 foul calls against us in this game. And ultimately, when it comes down to it, the Chicago Bulls didn't execute. They didn't play with enough heart. And they didn't hit enough shots to be able to be in this game. And they didn't go after the hustle stats enough either, right? This was always going to be a game where the Chicago Bulls' ability to keep the Cavs off the boards, which they're the sixth best rebounding team in the league, was going to be an important part to the story of whatever this game ended up being. And unfortunately, the Bulls just they couldn't rebound the ball well enough. Despite us having size, we couldn't rebound the ball well enough. And Donovan Mitchell absolutely went off. Now, he didn't get the 50 or 70 points or anything like that. 11 of 21 for 34 points, 7 assists, 3 rebounds. I mean, listen, he played solidly well. He led his team to a victory. We had no 20-point per game score or 20-point scorer in this game at all. The closest to it was Kobe White. He goes 5 of 15 from the field. 1 of 5 from three-point range. Seems like Kobe's about to go through another one of those three-point shooting slumps. 18 points from him. We get 17 from Vooch and Zach LaVine combined. They score fairly efficiently. Zach also chips in 4 rebounds, 4 assists. Vooch gets 10 rebounds, 4 assists in this game as well. DeMar DeRozan, why did I slip on his name? He goes 3 of 6, only 6 shots from DeMar in this game. 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, 6 points in that. Alex Caruso with 10 points. And then we get Ayo Dosunmu with 10 points off the bench and Andre with 8 and 10 off the bench as well. The Bulls just didn't have enough. We did not have enough in the tank. We got our asses kicked, and we deserve to. And, this is one of those games where when we talk about the Bulls, and people saying, like, can the Bulls be that team that can get some playoff victories and things like that? These are the type of games you want to see the Bulls be able to win that would indicate that they can get playoff type, win games in playoff type atmospheres. And right now, the Bulls haven't done that at a high enough rate for me to be able to say it. I love the way that they've been playing when they play well, not in a game like this, but I love the way that they've been playing. But you have to be able to close out games and you have to be able to beat tough teams to be able to really get some faith from your fan base that has been disappointed for a while in what you can end up being. And we just haven't got that consistently enough from the Chicago Bulls, man. And hopefully this is maybe another wake-up call for the team. Maybe this can be another thing for this team to look at and try to rally around. But it's just not working. And I don't want to say that it's because of Zach LaVine being back in the starting lineup. I don't want to blame it on any just one thing realistically, but there's a combination of things going on that the Chicago Bulls have to get in gear if they really want to be able to turn this season around. And this game was just not it. This game was not it from the Chicago Bulls to be able to elicit that faith for fan base. And so hopefully this, like I said, the Bulls wake up. Billy Donovan, I will give him credit for trying that Vooch and Drummond lineup as long as he ran with it because it's a lineup that we don't see often. And when we do, it's spot minutes. They were out there on the floor together for that first stint for about 6 to 7 minutes. And like I said, we got the lead back down in that time, but we just weren't able to keep it up. We did go back small. It is what it is there. This is a team that's lacking size, and I think we're starting to see that really missing both Torrey Craig and Patrick Williams right now is definitely hurting the Chicago Bulls. I know we have our Bulls fans that are not the biggest fan of Patrick Williams, and that's understandable. But when you are now forced to play guards at your power forward or go two traditional centers there out there at the same time. Now, the Cleveland Cavaliers are the type of team you can get away with that with, but it's evident. It's evident. And so, that shooting the ball, the turnovers, all those things, it definitely plays a part. And then the Bulls just getting their ass kicked today. And that's what this was. This was an ass kicking by the Cleveland Cavaliers. You lost in the shitty ass city type of that. And it's unfortunate, man. You can't keep letting cities like Cleveland get wins against the Chicago Bulls. That's wild. That sucks. That sucks. It's a piss poor ass city. Piss poor ass city. You got tetanus just by walking in the city. But all jokes aside, man, like I said, the Bulls, they did not deserve to win this game. Playing it, even when they got that lead down, of course, I was excited. I was hoping they were going to be able to pull it out because it would have been a great story. But the Bulls they ain't have it, man. They did not have it. And that's just what it comes down to. This game, they play much like ball cheeks. And they deserve to lose this game. And that's just what it boils down to, man. It's unfortunately what happened. And this team they have to go back to discovering what made them successful. And this is the thing that this is the thing that Shay, this is the thing that other people have brought up, right? Is that when the going gets tough for this team and they get punched in the face, they default back to their natural state. And the fact of the matter is, when you get Zach, when you get DeMar, when you get them defaulting back to what their natural place and natural kind of instincts are, it's not good for winning basketball. It's unfortunate. It's just not. You have to play within the confines of what the structure of this team is. And, we don't have a head coach strong enough to really rein that in. And that's some on him. But again, it is what it is, man. And it's unfortunate that we lost this game in the manner in which we lost to him, because this could have definitely been one of those games that we really, really could have competed better and gave better effort than what we ended up getting in this game. And Bulls fans, it sucks, man. And I hate to come here and talk to you guys about an L, but it is what it is, man. The Bulls got their asses kicked. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. There are reasons why. There are some excuses in that too, but this is going to be a team that how they really start playing on this in a easier part of their schedule against better teams is really going to tell the story of what the postseason really can look like for the Bulls. Because the way that they playing right now, they're going to win some more games. They're going to win games against bottom feeders. They're going to do that. They're going to win some games against some solid teams. But the way that this team executed, if this is the way that they play in playoff type games, it's going to be a quick out again for the Chicago Bulls. And so, somebody could say, well, with the talent that we have in XYZ, that makes sense. And it does. And the Bulls got some things that they really, really need to look at and try to correct and things like that, because this was disappointing. This is a very disappointing loss in this one. The Bulls came out flat. Felt like they were playing the fourth game of a back-to-back, and they got to look at themselves and figure it out. Now, we do get some time off. If I'm correct, we don't play again until Thursday, so the Bulls get 3 days off. How are they going to respond in that time is the thing. I really want to see what they do with that extra time off and see how they come out in that next game. because the Bulls play a lot of games here on the road upcoming. And so the times of getting rest in your own bed are going to be few and far between. I think out of the next 8 games, the Bulls only play 2 games at home. That's off the top of my head. Our next game against is it at home? No, we're in Toronto for the next game. We're back home against Memphis is what it is. And then after that, that's the 20th. We're not back home until the 30th against the Toronto Raptors. So we're going to be out on the road for 10 days. 4 games over those 4 games over that time. It's 5 games in those 10 days, but 4 of them are out on the road. And the Bulls are going to have to figure it out because this is a stretch when you look at Toronto, a tough team for us. Memphis, Phoenix, playoff team. The Lakers, struggling team. Portland, struggling team. Toronto, again, another team that competes hard with us. So the Bulls, they really got to look in and dig in and figure some stuff out because the initial way that this team was playing when Zach returned, it's gone away. And again, I'm not blaming that on Zach. That's not here. Maybe that's time for a different discussion, maybe on a pre-recorded episode. But there's a direct correlation with this offense starting to get a little bit more stagnant with Vooch and Zach coming back, Patrick Williams being out, us being back small. I want to list all the things. I'm not trying to blame it on Zach LaVine, but there's a direct correlation with those, the Venn diagram of those things going on. When you overlay that, it overlays with, despite the Bulls still winning more games over that time, we've seen more stagnation out the Bulls offense over those games than what we saw prior. And so that's up for Billy Donovan. That's up for the coaching staff. That's up for the players to really use these next couple of days off to figure it out. We got to get back on the right track. We got to get back playing as a team. We got to get back executing. We got to get back hitting our shots, get back to being that defensive team. We have to do those things if we really want to make a move. And so we'll see if the Bulls can do it. I know that they have the ability to, but will they is the biggest question in that. And that can only be told on the court. I can hypothesize and all that here on this show, and it only gets so far. They got to prove it on the court. And hopefully the Bulls, they come back against Toronto and they look good again on the 18th. Let's hope that that's the case. Because right now, this team's struggling. And this team looks like a team, again, that doesn't have the heart of Chicago. And we need to get that back. We need to get that back, and let's hope that we can. All right, let's go ahead and get into some of these comments, guys. We got DJ Reese up first. Says Pornhub, the game we play. That's hilarious. Either way, you're seeing somebody take some shots in the case like that. So Omar says, I swear I hate the Cavs. I can't wait till Mitchell walk away during free agency this summer. Let's see what happens with that one. Peter in the building says, Io starts cooking in the third and helps cut the lead, and he gets subbed out for Javon fucking Carter. Billy Donovan, I told you guys, the one thing that you can bet on with Billy Donovan as the head coach is the rotations aren't going to make sense sometimes. Now, sometimes that's still going to get us some things, but, it is what it is, man. Keon Johnson says, 21-3 run with Vooch and Drummond in the game has to be utilized more. I would say that, but then you got to also look at when they came back in the game, the other team went on a run. So I would say that you can utilize that more, and I'll give it credit. It worked better than what I ever thought that it was going to work. But it's still, you can only do that against certain teams. This is not something that you're going to be able to run against every single team. You're just not going to be able to. But with the way that the Bulls were getting killed on the boards and in second chance points in this game, it made sense to try it. And for like I said, to the credit of the players and Billy Donovan, it worked for a while there. But then it worked until it didn't. And when it stopped working, it got ugly out there. Anthony Vargas says the Bulls lost tonight. They are so trash, Haize. I'm so mad. That's how basketball works. I mean, listen, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. They got some things that they definitely need to work on. They got cooked. It's safe to say Donovan Mitchell was the boogeyman for the Bulls. That's funny. Is he past Joel Embiid? Are we saying that he's past Joel Embiid as the boogeyman for the Bulls? Dan Miles says, fire BD, trade Caruso, Vooch, LaVine, DeMar. Have the Bulls fans write down an apology to the Shout out for the super chat, bro. You got cut off there. Shout out to the super chat. I can't wait to hear all the excuses y'all will find to blame Zach. See, and that's why I made sure that I pointed out. It's not just Zach. Now, it coincides with a lot of things going on. Because you can't just blame it on one player. Not when a team comes out this flat. This flat, you can't just blame it on one person. You can't. Dan trying it again. Thank you for the super chat. Says fire BD, keep Caruso, DeRozan, trade Vooch, Zach, Javon Carter. Nobody wants Javon Carter. Nobody want that ball-headed hoe. I'm telling you right now. Nobody wants the ball-headed hoe. They already got Sexy Red. They do not want another ball-headed hoe. Okay, so that's how a team with good D looks. Whoa. You out there for that good D, huh, bruh? Listen, you gotta do what you gotta do, bro. You gotta do what you gotta do. My boy Drift said he looking for good D. He out here searching for good D. That's crazy. That's crazy. The Bulls fought back to get the lead and immediately took their foot off the gas. And that's what we talked about, right? This team and their inability to close out games is gonna be tough. Now, that's something that you do have to learn, right? So let's hope that the Bulls are learning this over this time, but it's something that's definitely a struggle for the team. Why do we switch so much or double team the driver? It leaves three open every goddamn time. Because if we didn't, it'll leave the lane open. Because unfortunately, we have three of the worst players in the league in pick and roll defense on the same team. So you switch in theory because it's going to eliminate the basketball IQ. But Vooch, Drum, uh, Drum, Vooch, DeMar, and Zach are three of the worst players in pick and roll defense you will find in the NBA. Period. That's not even hyperbole. That's legitimate. Go and look up the stats. So you switch theoretically to overcome that. But then unfortunately, we don't have the defenders to really do switching well. So come on, y'all. We can't give up. It's one game and we can come back from this, but the game was bad. Yeah, I don't think let me not speak for everybody. I'm sure there's somebody in the comments saying I'm done with this team. It happens after every loss. But you're going to lose games and you're going to lose games ugly. And how you come back from that is the story. So the Bulls, like I said, they still won more games than they lost over this stretch, but they got to figure it out because this type of thing that they're doing right now, it's definitely ugly. You're right. I said they could be a dark horse. I was wrong, but I love my team. Go Bulls. That's funny. Mig says this one is on Donovan and White. The head scratching three by White and then the three by LeVert shifted the momentum. Donovan never inserted back Io in the fourth. And I wonder I wonder why that was. Like, I get it that you wanted to maybe get some looks out there and things like that. But to me, when it comes down to it, Io's a player that I trust Io to a degree because of his defensive ability. Io DeSumo played 2 minutes and 48 seconds in the fourth quarter. So yeah, look at that for what you will. Black Prophet in the building says, Haize, Vooch and AD played well together. Then Billy went back to the four guards and Vooch, which hurt the Bulls in their comeback. Rebounding defense, no size, outside shooting really hurt the Bulls. That's a fact, Black Prophet. Great points there, brother. Great points. This fucking team, man. Are y'all sure Jerry didn't sacrifice the franchise's soul to the gods for them goddamn championships? No, that was the team working hard. Yo, what up, Haize? Why is Chicago Bulls never have the answer for Donovan Mitchell? I don't know, man, because we got perimeter defenders, right? I don't know, man. This Bulls is starting to go back to how they were before, and I don't understand why. I didn't get to play in the fourth quarter. You got to ask Bubblegum Billy on that one, brother. You got to ask Bubblegum Billy. Brandon L. Jet says, get well soon, P. Will. Bulls better find a heart before Thursday or they will get their ass kicked against Toronto. Yep. And then they may find themselves back outside the 10th seed. We have a closer candidate, just going to say comeback started with Vooch on the bench. We'll see with that. No, and that's not true. The comeback didn't start with Vooch on the bench. The comeback started with him and Drum out there together. Jiggy, you tripping. The one player out of Zach, DeMar, and Vooch I would want to keep is DeMar. The reason is we can get better assets back for Zach and feel we need a defensive big, and DeMar can be the veteran we need. But see, the thing is with that, Caruso can be the veteran we need. If you get just a defensive big, that's going to be less space for DeMar. He's not going to work. That's part of why DeMar DeRozan only had 6 points this game, is because we did run with Vooch and Drum out there so much. Now, it worked in the grand scheme of getting the lead down, but when you have just a defensive big with no threat to stretch the floor, DeMar's not going to have room to go to work. So you're limiting what DeMar's best strengths are there. So Drifter says, the most disappointing is that we recovered and came close in scoring, but in the last quarters, Cavs killed the match. Absolutely. They clinched it. KC reported that Io got injured, and that's why he didn't play in the fourth. Hey, prayers up to Io. I hope he can make a speedy recovery because I don't want to see Javon Carter play more. Jordan in the building says, being a Bulls fan is so exhausting, but I've been a fan since I was a little kid, so I ain't never switching up. Fact, same thing with me. That's why I say it ain't never a threat for me to switch the team. That's never going to happen. I'm going to be here covering this team, win, lose, or draw until the end of time, and let's hope that we can get something done. Shay in the building says, I'm not blaming anything on Zach. About one person that needs to take heavy blame tonight is Vooch because even when you can't, I'll rebound. Out rebound. Stop using speech to text, Shay. Stop using speech to text. You don't enunciate. Your bottom lip gets in the way. Stop using speech to text. Stop it. Stop it. Get you a pencil. Type with your finger. Do whatever you can. Because when you do speech to text, they got to pick up your bottom lip. Shay's my little brother. I'm just throwing some fun at Shay. Out rebound somebody. You can still box them out and make sure they don't. Great point there, Shay. And that's a big critique because I know you're a Vooch guy. Fight back to fold in the end. All too common theme for us. So is BD taking out the hot hand? Yep. Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. Brandon L. Jet says, I love this channel, but I hate the team sometimes. I guess I gotta go to work disappointed. Hey, man, that's unfortunate. It's Seaway's World says, I ain't got the answer, Sway. I don't think anybody does. Yep, that's a fact on that one. How I couldn't wait for Cristiano Felicio contract to end is how I can't wait for Billy Donovan's contract to end. Vooch and Drummond got them back together in the game. Then Billy went back to small ball. Facts, Melvin. Facts. Can't wait to see Haize in 30 years still doing this post-game shows with a gray wizard beard talking, this is going to be our year, 2054 going to be our year. Hey, the one thing I will say, the benefit is red hair doesn't turn gray. So considering that my beard is about 40% red, it's still going to have a little color and I'll never be completely gray. Never be completely gray. I'm about to have a mini rant. Fate watching Mitchell tonight, I realized that Levine is mid. He ain't producing, missing easy buckets. He's still coming back from injury. Bro, Vooch is a liability in the pick and roll. Is the lot? No, it's Vooch, DeMar, and Zach. Because guess what? When we were running heavy switch and pick and rolls with Lonzo Ball, he was able to, through communication and his length, be able to overcome that. So no, it's not just Vooch. It's also Zach LaVine and it's also DeMar DeRozan. Big time in pick and roll defense. Now, Drum, he says in those situations, yeah, absolutely. But Drum alone isn't enough to overcome the defensive liabilities in pick and roll between Zach and DeMar as well. Just going to say that. Red beards go white, not gray. LOL. I got that started. No, that's actually false. Go and look it up. True red hair doesn't turn gray. Auburn hair does turn white or gray. And then if you have like really, really light brown to where it looks red in the light, that'll turn gray as well. But true red hair doesn't turn gray. So there you go. Believe me, I've done my research on my Celtic DNA. There should be no excuses for Acme to not do anything at the NBA trade deadline 3 years in a row. We're depth with guards and wings. We need more size. What there is, because you have to have pieces that other teams want. I think that's the part that we always miss. We talk about just being active. You have to have parts that other teams want, right? That's the first thing. And so the Zach piece, somebody's going to want it. It's that if you take that deal back. And so we don't want to take a deal just to say that we take a deal. But I will say this is a trade deadline that you would expect them to be more active than what they've been in the last few ones for sure. So it sucks going into every game knowing your coach is going to get outcoached. If AK can't see this, the team has no hope for the near future. Well, you got to give. He doesn't get outcoached every game. A lot of games, yes, but he doesn't get outcoached every game. I wonder how many times the Bulls have come back from a large deficit just to forget how to play basketball right after. God damn, y'all killing this team, man. That's crazy. Kobe was also trying to force action. We got into panic mode and tried to make something from nothing, but there was no cohesion. I mean, and that's the thing. The teams that are able to come back from deficits operate the game plan still, even through the deficits. Now, that may take some hero shots, some heat checks, maybe even a little heavy isolation at times, but that's what it really takes to come back. Look at the way the Golden State Warriors came back against us. The thing with this Bulls team is that they do it sometimes. There are times Were we going to come back from games because of our defense getting out in transition? It's going to look good. It's going to be pretty. But a lot of times when the going gets tough, this team kind of breaks down. And that's where a lot of things falter at from the Chicago Bulls team as well. We still don't know how long Billy's contract is. I guess it expires in 2054 as well. Well, the thing is, Billy Donovan's contract extension doesn't even kick in until next year. And like you said, we still don't know how long it is. For all we know, Billy Donovan signed a 5-year contract. So it is what it is. And Seaway's World said, Archangel Haize is going to block. Nope, I've mentally blocked out your guys' conversation because y'all wilding. Do you think there's favoritism among Donovan and the players? Just curious. I wouldn't call it favoritism. I think it's reliance. And those are very different things, right? Favoritism means like, no matter what you do, you are the best and the wholehearted, like, I love you. Let me worship your everything, right? I was about to say something that was going to get me canceled. Reliance means that you are so focused on what their skill set is that you don't realize sometimes when it's not working. So I think I would personally use reliant more than favoritism in a case like this, but you could have meant it the same way that I meant favoritism. So at one point, Billy had 4 guards out there going against the best rebounding teams, and he expected things in well. At one point, at most points, we started off with 4 guards out there, 4 historical guards. So at one point, at all points, talking about. Gianni says, I just don't understand why our AK just won't make changes to our team. It makes no sense, and it's not fun to watch Bulls anymore. I miss when Zach was out and we played with heart. Again, you can't just blame that on Zach, but I mean, we have made changes to the team. But again, you don't want to make changes just for the sake of making changes. You have to make the right ones. And to do that, that means that a team has to be willing to trade for you and be equal and fair, and that you not get fleeced. And it also means that players have to want to sign here if you're talking about free agencies. So, those things play a part in it as well. Jordan says, sometimes I really wish they would just trade Zach, DeMar, and Vooch and focus on developing young guys more. But I know that's just me being frustrated and impatient. I just want them to do something. And that's what a lot of people feel. If a lot of people are honest with themselves, a lot of people feel that way like you do. Now, also, bro, before people say, well, Vooch and Drummond needed rest, the problem wasn't the problem. The problem wasn't that. The problem was that he substituted another guard like Javon Carter in the closing minutes in and another guard. Well, that's all we got. Other than Drum and Vooch and Terry Taylor, if you want to say it, all we got is guards. And Terry Taylor sucks. I'm sorry. He has a couple of good minutes, but that's it. That's it. Susan says, yes, I agree. Makes sense, Haize. Like, I try to be level-headed here. Sometimes they'll tell you. There are times where I absolutely come in here after games and I'm just going off. I'm trying to be more level-headed. I'm trying to be evolved, is what I'll say. Despite the shitty loss, Zach wasn't back on his I'm the number one fucking guy for scoring shit. At least he's playing within whatever this new system is. Yeah, I get what you're coming from with that one. No one is going to say it, but Kobe White needs a little bit of discipline. That rush 3-point shot at the end of the fourth when he had the league was unnecessary. He's been doing that a lot lately. Yeah, but listen, I'd rather make him trying to make a play, but you definitely want to play within it. Definitely want to play within the flow of the offense for sure. Lloyd says 161, hit the like button and subscribe. Hit the goddamn button, y'all. Subscribe to the channel. Call up Adama Sanogo to back up Vooch and Drum. My guy's been doing shit in the G League. Let him cook in the league. Not going to happen. Billy Donovan it's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. I get what you're getting at. And he has been cooking in the G League, but it's not going to happen this season. Billy need to be fired, period, for continue to play 4 guards. I mean, but you can't blame him for that. It's the roster. What else is he supposed to do? Because either way you look at it, there are going to be 4 guards out there. Even if you do say, and I'm not saying that you're saying this, but even if you say start Drum out there, okay, cool. That means that your bench is all 100% guards. And Terry Taylor, who again sucks ass. So I mean, you got to do it. You got to do it. It's Seaway's World says Terry Taylor was going crazy for a second. Yeah, for a second. That's all it is. Terry Taylor is like Nitro in Need for Speed, and not only one. He's gonna play really good, really, really good. for about 90 seconds. At that point, you're dead in the water. You're dead in the water. You got 90 good seconds. That's also, surprisingly enough, what Shea tells the women he bed. I got 90 good seconds. And then he's done. And that's Terry Taylor. He got 90 good seconds out there. And that's it. That's it. Shout out to Shea. Shout out to Shea. Kobe was trying to be a hero, and then it just didn't work. He probably won't do it again for a while. You know what? He needs to do it. He needs to do it, though. He needs to keep it going. Terry Taylor should never shoot a three again. That's funny. That's hilarious. The team needs to get in the game and shoot them threes. I mean, he's just getting his shot going in the G League. I wonder what goes on in AK's head that makes him say 90% guards plus wings, 5% big man. Construction is the answer to our team. Who knows, bro? Understand getting mad at Billy over something that he can control, but in terms of him playing four guards, his hands are basically tied. Yep, exactly. Exactly. Reginald says you can give 90 pumps in 90 pumps in 90 seconds. You can tell that Reginald, never mind. I'm trying to be better. I'm trying to be better. That's crazy. That's crazy. Is Shea your real brother? Yes, that's my real brother. By blood, no, but that's my brother. 90 seconds. Nah, I said Shea got 90 good seconds for you. Sound like somebody exact like that's crazy. That Jacker, like you should have gave that up in high school, bro. We need more consistent three-point shooters like the Cavs. The Bulls have been playing hell of a lot better. They've been winning way more than they have lost. We shouldn't tweak our out on one game. Yeah, shouldn't tweak out on one game. Oh, I turned the game off. They were pissing me off. That's listen, rage turning off the games is self-love. You gotta protect yourself. Protect your peace. Shay said, baby, set the clock for 90 seconds because that's all I've got. Hey, listen, Shay literally I knew it was coming. Shay be like, hey man, go ahead and set your clock. Go ahead. I hope you don't tell your Uber not to leave. They'd be like, why, baby? Because you about to be right back out there. Let me go ahead and set this clock. Bam. Let's get this done with. That's it. That's it. That's all he got. That's all he got. Here y'all go. But y'all are almost about me and Archangel. Hey, listen, y'all were wilding though. 90 seconds would be nice. Why not grab it big with that $10 million disabled? Because it would send the Bulls into the luxury tax. And you know what Emperor Palpatine isn't going to do? Pay the luxury tax. Jerry Reinsdorf is not paying the luxury tax. Uber has a 5-minute wait time. See, look, you right there. You right there. You right there. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's wild, bro. That's crazy. That's crazy. Shay, you should be ashamed of yourself, my guy. You should really be ashamed of yourself. Reginald, of course you're cramping in 90. You just said you can get 90 pumps in 90 seconds. That's crazy. That's crazy. Giant says, get Zach the fuck up out of here. I mean, I don't know what that got to do with anything, but hey. I am not ignoring you, Archangel. You just been wilding out. That's all. I had to pour some cold water on you. Where's your husband at? Where's your husband at? But yeah, this loss sucks, man. It is what it comes down to. This loss really does suck. I really want to see the Bulls get better, man. And like I said, I don't want to make it seem like the Bulls are playing terribly or anything like that. We've won 4 out of the last 6, right? So, we're playing okay in this stretch, but we got to close out games better. We got to beat the better opponents. We got to do those type of things. So we're 5-5 in our last 10, though. So we got to improve. We really want to try to get back to being that spot. We still have a 1-game lead over the in the 9th seed. So, that there's that. So there you go. Are y'all okay? That's hilarious. That's funny. I watched the game too. Clearly not, because Zach LaVine wasn't ball hogging this game. Nobody else had anything going. Yeah, like you got to understand. Like it's like, do you want somebody to keep passing to people who are sucking? Like, I'm just wondering what that is. Zach wasn't ball handling. Zach was trying to. There's a difference between ball hogging and trying to make a play happen for your team that couldn't score to save their fucking lives. So, and you can't say that a player was ball hogging when he only took the fourth most shots on the team. Watch the actual game objectively. That's all I'm saying. Y'all doing Locked On Bulls today? Yes. Every Monday through Friday, you get Locked On Bulls. That's what it comes down to. I only commented on small shorts. Yeah, okay. The innuendos were mad loud, sis. Mad loud. Bismack Biyombo was just released. Would he be a good? No, not at all. None. I'd rather see them play Julian Phillips or Adama Sanogo, but no, like he says, I'm mad at everyone. Right? I understand that, Giant. I can definitely understand that, bro. I'm pissed too. Don't think just because I'm maintaining my composure on this live stream that I'm not pissed at this loss. I'm absolutely pissed. But like, what is it going to do? What is it going to do? Josiah in the building says, I accepted the fact that Vooch doesn't actually stretch the floor and create much spacing anymore. He's shooting 27% from three and keeps jacking them up there. He hasn't shot over 35% in a few years. Well, that's the thing. He's never been a high volume percentage three-point. He had one season of that, but he still stretches. Stretching the floor isn't only three-point shooting. That's not only that's a way to stretch the floor, but that's not only the way to stretch the floor. Being a threat to even go out to 18 feet while you have a player that can dive and get to the rim like DeMar DeRozan is still stretching the floor, because guess what? Andre Drummond doesn't even stretch it that much, right? So I know commonly we think of stretching the floor as just three-point shooting, but that's a way you stretch the floor. That's not the only way that you can stretch the floor. It's dependent upon the situation. So keep that in mind. JaMychal Green would be a much better pickup than Bismack Biyombo. I'm just saying. Okay. Ben 10 says, hey, Haize, I got a feeling a trade's coming soon. Let's see if that happens. Now, if it doesn't happen, that feeling actually does mean that you're about to get kicked in the nuts. So, I mean, let's see how it works out for you. Remember when Drummond was slinging them? Jay, retype it, come back. Retype it and come back. What about bring Rashawn Holmes home? I don't like. Keep that hairline off the team. We already got enough bad hairlines on the team. It's time for a hiatus from this team until the big changes are made at the start of the season. Why? Are you a real fan? Why take a hiatus? You're still going to check to see how the team's doing. I mean, to each your own. You got to protect your peace. I'm all for everybody protecting their peace the best and only ways they can. But let's be real here. You're still going to be checking out what the team's doing if you're a real fan, right? I said I was going to take a break away from the team, and I started a whole fucking podcast, and I've been doing it for almost 1,000 days straight. So there you go on that one. I want to wake up to a Bleacher Report alert with some crazy trade shit for the Bulls. Why? Because if you wake up, what if the crazy trade is the Bulls trade Zach LaVine and Alex Caruso, and they get back Ben Simmons? Is that what you want? Is that what you want? Because that's a crazy trade. But ask yourself, is that really what you want? DeMar will be traded before the deadline. We'll see. Game days are the best days. Win or lose, we always gonna have fun around here. Always gonna have fun. Ben Simmons is crazy. Like, yeah, it's funny because the first year I started the show too. So I remember somebody saying, I can't remember what user it was, but he was like, the Bulls should trade Zach LaVine for Ben Simmons right now. And I was like, you're a fucking idiot. Like it was comments like that birthed Petty Roosevelt, right? It was comments like that birthed Petty Roosevelt. Jordan says he needs guys with good D. Shay, Jordan says I'm gonna let it go. I'm trying to be evolved. I'm trying to be better. I'm trying to be better. I'm trying to be better. I am really trying to be better. That was the joke was right there. The joke was right there. I trade Zach and Terry Taylor duo for something sweet. For something sweet? You're already sweet, Ben 10. What do you need something more sweet for? You trying to look? See? Let me stop. I'm gonna get canceled. I'm gonna get canceled. I'm gonna get canceled. That's crazy. That's wild. Oh man. Count Reinsdorf never will allow that bad of a trade for Zach. Yeah, I mean that's reportedly what we've heard. Jordan, you need guys with good D, or the Bulls need players that can play defense. I think Jordan said he said what he said. He needs guys with good D. Sounds like Shea is getting drafted on up. Jordan says he wants all those 90 seconds, all of them. That's all you're gonna hear. Jordan says he makes mac and cheese sounds. I can't make the jokes that I want to make. This is terrible. This is terrible. Me trying to clean up the show is terrible. That's crazy. Deanna says, I know that's right. Good D. That is hilarious. That's funny. That's funny. You took a break from the team and started a podcast as therapy. Now this is one big therapy session for us all. Facts, Leandre. Facts. Oh man, as much crazy it is now in this stream, how crazy would it be if Grady? Hey, listen, I told y'all, if the Bulls ever get Grady Dick on this team, I'm gonna live call a game because I got to be able to say he just dicked him down, and I'm telling y'all right now, if Grady Dick gets signed to this team. Anytime he dunks on somebody, we got to say he just dicked them down. We got to say that. You got to say it. He just dicked them down. You just got to say that. Dick from deep when he shoots three-pointers. The long stroke. Dick with the long stroke. You got to say that, right? You got to say that type of stuff on the live calls if Grady Dix ever gets traded to this team. You just got to do it. It would be un-American for me not to live call to be able to say that. It'd be un-American. It's crazy. It's just crazy. Archangel, you fucking asshole. Yeah, we all know only Dalen Terry has that really, really, really good D. Quote this. That's wild. That's wild. That's crazy. Dick penetrates the hole. That's crazy. That's wild. I see. I don't know who Grady Dick's marketing team is because the first thing that I would have done leading up to the draft, I would have had T-shirts, just black T-shirts with white lettering that says "Get Dicked." Like that's it. Get dicked. Like, come on. The merchandise opportunities write themselves, man. Come on. What we doing out here, bro? What we doing out here? Why this man's missing out on money? Good quality dick money. He's missing out on money. That's crazy. Do you know how much money I'd make up my dick? Do you know how much money? I'm about to get a text message. I'm probably going to be in trouble now. So, but yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. After the Bulls lost, the chat room goes to the dark. Oh, every time. Every time. Every time. If my name was Grady Dick, I'd dye my pubes gray. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's wild. This man should be on from the merch. Exactly. Like, how do you not create a black shirt that says "Get Dicked"? Like, how do you not do that? That doesn't make any sense to me, man. That doesn't make. Do you know? Like, people worried about getting flamed in high school. Do you know? Do you know the amount of merch that I would have for this show if my last name was Dick? Like, every time I flame somebody, I'd be like, and you just got dicked. Like, come on, man. What are we doing, bro? What are we doing out here, man? What are we doing? What are we doing? That's crazy. That's crazy. Andy, you crazy as hell, bro. Haize gonna manifest Dick on the team just so he can. That's a crazy. That's crazy. That's wild, bro. That's wild. That's wild. Dick finishes on the rim. Hey, listen, every once in a while, you just gotta smack the dick on the rim. You just gotta do that. Like, it is what it is. It is what it is. That's crazy, man. It don't make any sense, bro. Make any sense, man. But with that said, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to another. Oh man, when to another episode of Chicago Bulls Central, man. I love you guys, man. You guys are literally what make this job the best job in the world. I will not lie to you guys. You make this the best job in the world. And I love you guys, man. Starting the show was the best decision that I have ever made in my life. And yeah, I appreciate you guys, man. We'll be back tomorrow, as you know, every day. We're working our way to episode 1000. Also working our way up to 20,000 subscribers on the YouTube channel. So if you're listening to this on the podcast side, just go over to YouTube, type in Chicago Bulls Central, just hit the subscribe button. Even if you only listen to the podcast, it helps grows. If you're on the YouTube side and you only watch the YouTube videos for this show, go and pull us up in Apple Podcasts or Spotify. I know y'all got one or the other, and leave us a 5-star review. You can't leave a review on YouTube, so go and leave a 5-star review on either Apple Podcasts or on Spotify. It really helps the show grow so much, guys. I appreciate you guys so much, man. You guys are the best in the world. I love you guys. Go Bulls. See red, y'all. Peace.